I'm Mandy Yarkich from Creative Matters, and you're listening to Creative Matters on Air, where I have conversations with new and established artists from around New Zealand. I love to listen to artists' stories and learn about their creative process, and maybe you do too, which is why I've made this podcast, to inspire, inform and educate. I hope you can take away something positive and encouraging from each of these amazing stories to help you on your own creative journey. Hi, and welcome to Creative Matters, episode 32. Today I am talking to the wonderful Beatrice Carlson. Beatrice is an interdisciplinary artist, a visual artist, printmaker, and contemporary jeweller. Born in France, she has been living and making in Devonport, Aotearoa, New Zealand for the last 16 years. Beatrice has always been interested in shapes and textures in her interdisciplinary art practice, from visual art to costume design to printmaking and now to adornment jewellery. Beatrice currently sees herself as a contemporary jewellery artist, and silver is her latest preferred medium. Her work is influenced by the different media and techniques she used in her fashion design background, and speaks of Aotearoa New Zealand and her French ancestry, and how precious the connection is between them both. She has been a finalist in the World of Wearable Art Awards 10 times, and a finalist in a number of art competitions, most recently in the Parkin Drawing Prize. Beatrice tells of the amazingly wide range of materials she likes to use in her work, including silver, perspex, gold leaf, pounamu, as well as less common mediums such as scoria, chicken feet skin, beetle wings, and salmon skin leather. I had a wonderful morning talking to Beatrice. Her practice is so fascinating, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And you can also see images of her work that she talks about on our blog, which is on our website, creativematters.co.nz, and also check out her website, beatricecarlson.com. Hi, Beatrice.
Good afternoon. Are we? Not yet? Bonjour.
Bonjour. Lovely to see you. Welcome to Creative Matters.
Oh, thank you, Mandy. I'm really very pleased and thrilled to be with you today and see you. Finally, we can now. So It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And we've been talking since, I think, July, since well before Auckland was in lockdown for 100 days. So it's finally our time to meet.
Oui.
And I'm at your home, which is a real treat in Devonport, Auckland, New Zealand. And it's the most beautiful home with all your gorgeous artwork.
Oh, thank you.
And a very beautiful garden, beautiful studio. And, you know, I feel very, very lucky that you have spent the last hour or so showing me around and talking about your work. So thank you.
Oh, pleasure. I guess that I needed to talk about this before we really talk together now. Just because being an interdisciplinary artist, I wanted really to show you what I'm doing. So to explain a bit what I've done and where I'm going now. So I'm a visual artist with a fashion design background. I'm a visual artist and I am a printmaker. So as an interdisciplinary artist, I blend all the techniques and now I am using sterling silver. So it's my latest medium and I love it. So it's very long process and many stories to tell you.
Yes, and I know that you have so many stories to tell. I've already heard a few. So before we get into those exciting parts of your practice and process, can you please tell us where you were born and something about your childhood?
Northeast of France, Champagne region. And then I ended up 5 years later, southeast of France, Nice. So, At 5 years old, my mother decided, yes, French woman, she needed to buy a baguette. So she went outside and left me alone in the apartment. And when she came back home, the neighbor, she was waiting for her saying, "Oh, I heard a big noise and I heard your daughter screaming." And then nothing else. So mom was very anxious. She opened the door and I was on the ground in the kitchen with a fashion design magazine, reading, and with big egg on my head because I climbed on top of the fridge with a chair, pick up the magazine, fell over, and I started to do fashion design. I was 5. Wow. That's the beginning of my story. So yeah, I wanted to tell you the anecdote because it's where I think I have been in fashion forever. So after this, yes, later my mom bought me, the Barbie dolls, but she bought me the fashion design with the little model and everything, the pattern. So I went on like that. And then eventually, yes, had no choice than to be a fashion designer. So yeah, school in France, diploma, so 3 years of school. Fashion design, pattern making, and it was brilliant. It's where I have all this interest for material, texture, harmony, volumes, and it has been helping me really a lot in all my practice.
Yeah, well, you can see, how it's informed your practice all the way through.
Yeah, definitely.
And so what kind of thing were you studying with fashion at that time?
Oh, it was really school, so it was all the basics. But I had this brilliant pattern maker, this lady once, and it's something that I always remember. Once she said, "Oh, make your weak point the strongest. So don't deny and in the opposite, make it really an advantage." So it's what I've been doing. The second thing that she told me was, if you are able to pick, you are also able to unpick. And then it's because it's so easy to, it's not working, you throw away. No, don't. So you unpick, and it has a repetitive also way of making things, which is very smoothing as well. And it's something that I kept all my life in whatever I was doing.
Yeah, I can see that. And you had a lingerie fashion business?
Yes, I did. I did this brand in France. I was with the new lingerie designer, so doing an exhibition in Paris and Lyon twice a year. So it was the SIL, the International Salon de la Lingerie, and it was brilliant. Very creative, very crazy, fun, and then I kept the lace, some of the lace I've been using at the time. I've been designing lace, so I went to northeast of France and then to mills, and it was fascinating. So see all the process, and then they wanted something more modern with a very old traditional machinery, and it was brilliant. I did some fun bathing suit designs in Italy. So this was brilliant. 1 week every month I was there, and then they picked me up at the train station because I did not drive. So I still don't drive, but it was fantastic. The company was in the middle of near Milano, a region called Crema, and it was in the middle of nowhere. And you had this technology mixed with old-fashioned antiques, really, and it was lots of fun. So it's I've been doing this a lot. Then I went teaching as well, teaching fashion. That was fun till. I like doing things when I enjoy, and when it's not fun, I stop. It's good and bad because I don't make money, but it's good in the sense that, yes, you keep always fresh and excited by what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sort of continual journey of learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, which I can see, you've really done. You're always learning and evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel the same. I never really stayed much longer than about 4 years in a job.
Yeah.
Because I love new challenges and new projects.
Yeah. I agree. And it's where when I came in New Zealand, in fact, I have been back to fashion design in a different way. I was, for 10 years, I've been designing corporate uniforms. So I've been designing for Wearable, Noel Leeming, Briscoe's. The latest was McDonald's. So we won, I was the French secret weapon to the fashion company. And then I was romancing them on how they could look like. And then afterwards you go corporate and mass production. So it's like, and what you will look like. And this was really great, increasing my skills in Photoshop and because I used to do mock-ups on garment, and it was brilliant. I enjoyed very much. And then same, after 10 years, it was time to move and just really focus on my art practice. So,
yeah. So did you actually have a lingerie? Just going back a little bit again, was it your own company?
Yeah. Yes.
Which is pretty brave. Is that something you came out from university and went straight into?
So I finished university. I was 21. I have been freelance fashion design for 3-4 years, and I had saved enough money, so to speak, to think, okay, why not? I do my own brand. And then I did that for 5 years at least, and then get bigger, get a partner, and then stop.
But that obviously went quite well. That was a good start to your career.
Yeah, it was. And it was very, exciting. It's where, the more exciting, the more you want to be excited. So,
And motivating.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when, you're obviously very attached to your homeland in France, but then you came to New Zealand. So how did that happen?
I met a Kiwi man in France. He was one of those yachties that New Zealanders, they all want to travel and then they end up on the water. So I met him, and then we came here to visit and discover the country. And then I thought, no, it's a country I want to live in.
Oh.
I wanted to stay in France. It took me 3 years to decide him to come back.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
So he's I actually think I might know your husband.
Okay.
What's his first name?
Andrew Carlson.
Oh, no, maybe I don't. No, but my husband was into yachting as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
America's Cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, just going off topic. So you came here, and what happened then?
And then, when the first time I came, love it, came back to France, and then my father was sick, so we stayed there till to help him to go the best way possible. And then you have this freedom of mind when you are able to leave your country and without any more family that keep you attached. And it was, new adventure and brilliant. So we arrived in October. I found the uniform company first contract in December. So it was very quick. And the first meeting, I got the job, and then eventually Corey Mulligan, the CEO, told me in confidence, the first time I could not understand you. I said, me neither, when I got the job.
Wow, you still got the job. That's good.
Yeah, no, because I showed him my portfolio, and I think that it was something that was talking better than at the time my English was.
So when you came to New Zealand, you were obviously, working in a creative environment and sort of being creative yourself. But were you actually starting to work on your own art practice at that time?
Oh, definitely. It happened that I heard about the world of wearable art. So it was like, oh, wow, of course. And then in 2010, I thought, in 2009, actually, I wanted to enter and then I was too shy. So no, I did not make it. But in 2010, I had, I was feeling strong enough to be able to do something. And so I entered in 2010 and I've been entering every year for 10 years.
Wow, that is incredible.
Every year I was finalist, and the first year, actually, when I entered, I was runner-up in the South Pacific section. So everyone was at home. They could not believe my mother-in-law that I love very, very deeply. She is a big fan, but she is my biggest friend as well. She was so proud, and then, it was brilliant. So, of course, family expects more.
Yeah.
First year runner-up in one section, they expect more.
But you have delivered, haven't you? I mean, you've been a finalist in 10 of the shows over 10 years.
Yeah.
So you started to tell me a little bit about some of those wearable art, beautiful creations that you made and the incredible stories behind them. Yeah. So it would be lovely for you to share some of those, some of the projects that you did.
Oh, thank you.
The lovely stories and also, the incredible materials that you use and so...
Thank you. So when I entered the first time, it was also to make people understand what is perspex, because as a visual artist, I use perspex. So it's a very interesting material you print, and then you can get really very striking colors by working hard to make them striking, but they give back. So it's wonderful. So the first garment was in perspex, and I think that it was where also it was finalist, because it was the first time someone used this material. The second year in 2011, it was a Rugby Cup. And so the theme was Kiwiana. So as a French person, what was Kiwiana? It's the sheep and the rugby. So I thought, okay, I call Eden Park. I want to talk with the manager, and they very kindly put me to the manager. And then I say, oh, hi, I'm Beatrice Carlson. I need your balls. And they immediately said, yes, please come in. And this was really funny, because he gave me 12, 14 balls, and they were all full of mud and blood. So it was, and I was taking back the train from Eden Park. We were living in Parnell at the time, and then take the bus. And then I had my 14 balls all all muddy and dirty in a bag. And then, I was very, very happy. And
how interesting to go there, and it's so good to use the actual balls that were used in a rugby game. Yeah. And then tell us about that actual creation. It's so incredible. You showed me some photos.
Oh, it's easy. It's a ball. A rugby ball is done in 4 parts. So for me, cutting the rugby ball was a bustier. And then, so it was actually my husband that was washing all the balls, because it's hard work to be able to brush all that. And I wanted really, first of all, use the old ball that were going to be thrown away, and then to give them another life, glamorous, and another purpose. So it was really a very interesting and funny, important for me to recycle things. So first of all, it was that. And then afterwards, yes, it's pattern making. So I wanted really to use those balls and respect the shape as much as possible. So work with quarters and paint them, put them rhinestones on them, so very glamorous. Use the press studs, 600 rhinestones on the shoes, something like that. Glued one by one. So yeah, fun. For the sheep side, I did a wig, and I bought some fleece. So felting. So thank you, YouTube and tutorials, because it was like, how do you felt? So Japanese sushi mat, to felt and hot water, burn a bit your fingers, put some soap and do your felting. And then it was, I put in the felt I added up some sequins. I melt things inside so that it was more glamorous, and I did a wig. So it was, very
That's
interesting.
Incredible. Yeah. And it's such an interesting design. I mean, it's all about the actual costume altogether, but then, the wig and the shoes.
Yeah.
And you told me that you often start with the shoes. Did you in that case?
Yes, and it is... I never realized that till recently, but all my... I like the detail. I'm a detail person, so I start with details and then I build up. And then everything makes sense, if it makes sense.
Yeah. And how do you actually go about creating something like, for example, the rugby theme or the Kiwiana theme? So did you quite early on decide that you were going to use the rugby ball and the sheep as the sort of theme, or how do you go about it? Do you do drawings?
I'm very visual, so I don't do drawings, but I'm also very insomniac. So basically, it's during the night, I suddenly wake up and it's there. And then I can't sleep because I know that I will forget. So I just repeat what I'm doing, or I'm making it. And then when I wake up, I know what I'm doing. And it's the way I've been working for forever. Another example is this garment with beetle wings. So I read this article that was extremely interesting and exciting about beetle wings and this dress that was renovated in England and cost a fortune in the making. And beetle wings, what's that? So I've been on internet, look at it, and find some on Trade Me that I could buy here, 50 beetle wings. When I received them, I was so overwhelmed, could not sleep, and I thought, yes, this is my next garment, wearable art garment. So just think about those beetle wings all night long and thinking, okay, what can I do with 50? So Google, find a supplier, and end up buying 6,000 beetle wings, 3,000 for the garment, and then the rest I thought, I will use it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will, or you have.
Oh, yes, I did. It's where I started making jewellery.
Wow. So just stop there. I'm going to stop you. You've got so many amazing stories to tell. So, Beatrice, you were very kind and showed me some of those beetle wings, which are absolutely gorgeous. They look like kind of long artificial fingernails,
yes,
don't they?
Yeah.
And they're kind of a greeny blue pearlescent.
Yes.
So they kind of shine and change colours slightly from different angles, don't they? And I mean, they're just the kind of things that you would never imagine were actually an animal.
No, but it's like the scarabée, the Egyptian scarabée. It's the protection. So they are hard wings. They are made of keratin, and it is where they will never fade. It's something that will last for centuries. That it's amazing, and it's where it's amazing what nature gives you, and it's what I wanted really to use.
Yeah, it's such an incredible thing to have.
Yeah.
And so, how did that actually inspire you for the next costume?
It was again, I was going back to my past, and as a printmaker, I've been doing exhibitions, and one of the exhibition I did cover the front of the gallery with one of my etching printed on those canvas. You know, the big canvas that you put on the trucks, the delivery trucks that they advertise for whatever,
like billboard or
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I did this massive print, and I thought, I will use it sometimes. And then things click. It's I talk about synchronicity before, and it's something that is. It's a friend of mine once. He says, "Yes." I say, it's like magnets." He say, "No, it's synchronicity. It's called." I say, "Okay, fine. Now I know the word," and it's true. In my French words and simple way of saying, it's like magnets. Yeah. Pieces go together, colors, they go together. It's and then those beetle wings, yes, the color was the color of my etching that was printed on that material. So I had to do something with it. Shape, it was because the print was large and I did not want to cut in small pieces. I had to do something quite large as well for the visual. And I thought, yes, torero, la muleta, the bullfighting, which is something that is not what I appreciate at all. The killing animals, no, never. But it was more about the fighter that is in front of his own death. And it is all the story of this garment is about that. So it's where the garment, I use those beetle wings to do some horns, and it's the horns of the bull, because finally the fighter and the bull are just one, and it is what the story is about. Yeah. So everything I'm doing, there is always some stories that are linked to my past. Just the way that yes, I'm coming from south of France, but also it's yes, all my culture is there, definitely.
Yeah, and the can you sort of describe the actual overall costume using the beetles?
So you've got there is this those horns made of beetle wings, and then she's got also the gloves. Everything is growing on her, so she is not anymore human, or she's not a bull. She has this dramatic way of showing herself. It's between life and death. It's between two worlds, and so the costume itself is very dramatic. The shoes are covered of beetle wings, as if, yes, they are part totally of her. And it's where when I did this at the garment with an accordion, it's also the same type of meaning of this type. I'm talking about an artist, and the artist is creating us artists. You know what I'm talking about. We create our own misery and monster because we are so much in our creation that sometimes they absorb us totally and can suffocate of this. So it's where I wanted to talk about that in accordion illusion, so that the illusion of being free and an artist, but yes, you're still sometimes stuck. And
wow. I mean, it just seems that, you know, you're such a visual person and you create such beautiful, sort of striking works in so many different ways with so many different materials and so many different processes. But then the stories behind are so interesting as well.
Thank you.
You know, I'd love to hear another of your costumes.
Okay. Which one?
What about the one where you won one of the sections?
Okay. Oh, right. So she is Marquise Rawahi, Marquise Overseas. It was in 2012, and I did this. I use again the perspex, and the skirt was like a waka, and I have been making pictures for the top as well, and create my own lycra print, which is a photographic print. It's called sublimation. It's a type of print, but it was. And I wanted to talk again about New Zealand. So at the time I was learning weaving. So I wanted really to incorporate the flax, the arakeke, in my garment. So I did a wig out of the flax. So we visited my mother-in-law at the time, and then I was cutting all the arakeke and then thanking the plants for giving me that. And I wanted really to respect it. So I use every single piece of the flax. I do not sew the garment. I just braided the fresh flax, and I could use it like a rope to finish the garment, and then I dyed in the colors of the power, and so the wig was in all those beautiful colors, and with a bit of feathers, and it was the winner of the section, the South Pacific section. What was very special was on the night of the awards, we were actually with family. So there was my mother-in-law, because she has never been to the show, so it was the first time, and I was the winner. So of course we had all tears of joy, but and her name is Joy, so it was perfect, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's beautiful.
It's important. It's all those that matter, really.
Yeah, it's all the big picture, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. It must have been lovely for your mother-in-law.
Oh, it was a great time. Yeah. After crying, we were very happy.
Yeah, I bet. So the actual process of creating a garment, a costume for wearable arts, obviously so much time and thought goes into it.
Yeah.
So is it like a sort of year-long process towards each annual show, or how does that work?
Yes, basically when you have the awards night, they give you the brief for the following year. So basically I start thinking about it in the plane when I come back from Wellington to Auckland. And then eventually you see the new section, you see what you're interested about. Then eventually, work is work. So you forget about this for a few months, and then you have to go back. But it's making a garment. It's 3 to 6 months work on top of everything you're doing. So it's time consuming. It's really a lot of work.
Yeah.
Perspex is you can bend, you can melt. I've been doing garment using a heat gun, which is brilliant. But then there is a point of fragility, and then it cracks and it breaks. So it's where you and I've been cracking and breaking and melting too much to fusion.
Oh no!
So, but it happens, and then you learn from that.
And you've got to allow for those kind of problems, I suppose.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. I mean, it must be. I can imagine it just consumes your mind for that amount of time.
Yeah.
So do you have a full-time job, or do you commit yourself full-time to your art?
Now I'm full-time artist. Yeah, definitely. So it's where. After 10 years of wearable art, I thought that it was 10 years. It's like 3 years work in the making process. If I add up all my months and it's a lot. And I enjoyed very, very much every moment. I made great contacts. People are fantastic. The wearable art team, organizer, they are amazing. So I love everything, but it was time also to do more. Because finally, even though every year you renew yourself, you create something different, the machine is still the same, so to speak. So the excitement, and then eventually I started to do pairing my wearable with jewellery. So I wanted really to explore more this way. And it is where making adornment jewellery was great, but I used to buy findings instead of making, and I wanted really to make from the beginning to the very end. And it is where you've got this very pleasing feeling when you achieve totally something.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And I mean, you seem so good at that with all of the work that you do. You like to learn and, discover new materials and learn how to use them, and which is amazing, and when you think about your practice and how many, such a massive amount of different materials you use, and which require different techniques and skills.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but you just enjoy that learning and evolving.
Yes, and you learn now. It's fantastic. Internet, you can learn anything, and it is where you can find anything as well. I've been finding some salmon leather, some chicken legs leather, and then but this I could find because I found the beetle wings. So suddenly you think differently because every material you don't even imagine exists. So this is very exciting.
Yeah. And the way you can take something like chicken legs or, chicken leg skin and create this amazing necklace out of it, which still has the sort of shape of the feet. And, and me, I've got a bit of a phobia about chickens, to be honest. I can't, there's something about chickens and I definitely can't eat them. So, to see that necklace made out of chicken feet skin, my friends will know that it's quite a hard thing for me to get my head around, but it's so beautiful, and it's dyed turquoise, and you've added beads and the actual texture of the skin, like alligator skin but different, is just magnificent. Yeah,
and it is where every time I find or I receive, it's like Christmas. You open your new parcel and it's like, oh, I can do something with that. Yeah. And then it's where, again, you have this excitement. And making those pieces of jewelry, it's my mini wearable art. Every time I renew myself, and I'm excited by learning a new technique, learning how to treat a material that I've never done before. And it's where I enjoyed so much wearable art, big pieces, but my mini wearable art are, it's, I can't go back to wearable art.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. So you've come more into sort of adornment or, costume jewelry, you could call it, but adornment jewelry.
Yes, definitely. I started like that. The process of making jewelry, and imagine also it comes from my fashion background, because the accessories have been always very important. You've seen the shoes that I'm doing. That I always say, yes, I start with shoes to construct a garment, but the accessory, we all have a pair like that. We all want a big accessory that will be a statement. And then look at your earrings. They are statement earrings, and it's where I love that. And it's where adornment jewelry is more than just costume jewelry, in the sense that it's really to enhance the beauty that exists already, but to it's fun. It's great fun to be able to use extravagant material.
Yeah. And it's just such a different kind of practice. I mean, I've been so lucky to hear about your practice this morning and see some of your beautiful work. And, it's not like you're creating a line of the same earrings or, each piece, a bit like the wearable arts, as you said, each piece is special and tells a very important story for you and uses materials in different ways. And, so it's each piece is one-off, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Because they are big pieces, if I respect the one that will choose and buy my piece, because they think it's special, and I want it keeps this way, because people, they believe that, yes, my piece was so special. They are special. They are unique for them. So, And then, the best compliment sometimes is, I had these galleries going to jewelry, sterling silver. This woman, she went a few times in the gallery, and then she wanted to buy the piece in Matakana, and then it's expensive, so she did not buy it, and then came back. And the third time she said, "Oh, I've got the money. Do you still have the piece?" And then when she put it on, it was meant really to be hers, and she left with that piece. And then the gallery, they rang to say, "Oh, she was so beautiful and frilled." So this makes, it's you can't redo a piece like that. You don't want to redo it. It's hers. And it has to stay like that.
Yeah. And it's like an art, a painting, I guess.
Yeah.
It's one piece that is expressing something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, I mean, for people who haven't seen your jewellery, you'll be able to see Beatrice's beautiful work on her blog post, and we'll include some of these things that we're talking about as well.
Thank you.
But you use so many different materials in your adornment jewellery, from pounamu to gold and silver leaf. You are specialising or really focusing on silver at the moment,
yep.
But you also have used stone, volcanic stone, and fish leather, lace, harakeke, like you said. That was in some of your costume work. You use beads and studs and chains and all sorts of materials, metals. How do you actually go about creating your jewellery? Is it in the same way as you did for the costuming, where you come up with we have a material to start with and you build from that, or
it's totally the same? It's the same. So when I walk on the beach, I'm a walker. I don't drive, I told you, but I walk 10Ks a day. And I love my walks the morning, and I go on the beach and I walk and I look, because I can't just walk. And then I walk and I stop because I see scoria. And then I see pieces of miniature of landscape or seascape, in a stone. And then from that, I want to carve it. I want to carve a ring and put my stone on it. And it's the stone that gives me the carving. It's not I'm carving and I put a stone. It's always the pieces that tell me. I'm just the tools. I always say I'm just the tools. And piece talks to me. It's the way that I can just translate, that. Yeah.
And you said you're a visual person, so do you find the piece and you're already starting to plan, or
definitely,
where it's going to end up?
Yes, I know where it will, how I will do. Instead, so I've been after Wearable art, I have been doing some workshop to learn silversmithing. It's the part I did not know how to, and it was brilliant. And again, it was something that I discovered that I just love, because yes, I could do the total product and the finishing, so all the findings and all those pieces. And then one of the workshop was wax carving. And this was a revelation. It was, when you have something that you think it's for me, and then suddenly it was like, like a child that you just want to go on, and then I can go and just carve my wax. And again, it's one-offs. It's not I don't do a mold with those. So when they put you give to the sterling companies that they will melt the sterling in your piece, and then when it melts, it destroys the wax, which is the beauty of it as well. So
yeah. And once again, it's that one-off original piece.
Absolutely.
No mark is ever the same.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful, isn't it? Just adds another specialness.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I source on internet. Same for my different material. I also source some different stones, but they are non-treated. They are really as natural as possible. So a stone that, like I work with big sapphires, but they look rough, and then they are cut normal gemstone cut, but they have marks, and I love that. I love the natural. My jewelry is very organic. I do really very natural ways. Again, it's the metal that tells me what to do. It's not me to bend the metal, and although I like very much hammering the metal, and this is something, it's very relaxing when you are really banging a piece of metal. This is something I love very much. But if it wants to turn and twist, it's meant to be, so I let it go. So same for soldering. Normally you've got two pieces you put together, you solder, and it has to be really smooth and invisible. I like the marks. I like marks like our wrinkles, our scars, and I like to leave some marks. Or if there is not enough, I put a lot more. But it's the way we are. I like oxidizing because it's when you mark and you oxidize, you create a color that will go in the metal, and when you send everything away, there will be still a bit of depth in the metal, and you see better the marks, but eventually it goes away. And this I like. The fading, we are all fading, we will all go away, and there is a meaning that is very important for me. So everything that I do is very related to Earth and our time on Earth, a short time, and then things are going in a very gentle way. The greenstones that I'm using are definitely New Zealand greenstones. So I've been doing, we did every year with my husband, we do a trip around the country just to see new places. And then 2 years ago, we did the Alpine train again with his mother, Joy. She has never done that train trip. So we went the other way round. We went from Queenstown down to pick up the train and back to Okitika, or the other way round. I'm lost. But it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I could, we have been on the Serpentine Beach, and then we were crazy. Even him was just jumping on the stones as if, oh, we will find greenstone, we will find. Of course you don't. And then it's not for us to find the stones, because by respect, I will not. So I have been, finding my suppliers of greenstone instead.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. And then, it's very special moment when you go to see your greenstone supplier, and then he shows his work, and then you know that, it will be yours as well. So,
and it's lovely to have that connection with somebody.
Definitely,
And it's such a craft for them too.
Oui.
So it's a really important
absolutely
connection.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of printmaking, don't you, with solar plate etching and embossing, and also you do carving, which is, I guess, part of your printmaking sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you tell us how that fits in with your jewellery?
So printmaking, when I was printing on perspex, of course, I was not printing myself. There was a company to do this because it's very technical. And then again, you've got the frustration of you work for weeks on an artwork, and then the last step, it's given to a company that will print. So the last step, you don't owe it. And this was the frustration. So the first time that I did a workshop of printmaking, it was at Studio One. And then it was like, wonderful, I can finally print. So it's where I started printmaking, and Bev Surgeon, who is the teacher there, and she is a wonderful artist. She is so we had this big bond together, and then eventually she let us know many techniques, and there was this solar plate etching that was fantastic for me. It's again another revelation, and I try to be as non-toxic as possible. And when you do an etching, you use acids, and I don't want that. Solar plate etching, it's a metal plate, like normal etching, but then there is a photopolymer, and you use the sun to mark the plate. Well, I make it easy because it's a very quick process, very stressful to make, but it's long to explain. Anyway, the beauty of it is that you use the sun, so you don't exactly know how it will react. If suddenly you've got a cloud, or it's winter, summer, so you've got all those elements of nature that will influence the result of your of making the plate, and then you wash it in water, and then it's done. It's perfect. So no chemical, beautiful, the help or not of Earth and the sky and the sun. And so this I love very much.
And I guess you enjoy that unpredictability.
Oh, yes, totally. Yeah.
And then what do you do once you have that? What happens next?
Then you print. So it's, I don't know.
Do you put ink on the plate?
Yes, definitely. I put ink on the plate. I've got a press as well in the garden shed that I used to print on paper. Normally, you print on paper, but I have been using this press as well to create a technique of embossing on metal. So this is normally as a jeweler, you use a mill, and then it's like a pasta machine, and you put your metal sheet, and then it will flatten with whatever you want to put, a piece of lace or whatsoever. That I use really my printmaking press to emboss the metal, something that I enjoy very, very much, because it's again relationship in between metal and lace leaves, what is strong and what is what seems to be strong and what is surviving afterwards. My metal is embossed with lace, and my lace is still intact. You know, it's not broken. The leaves of the skeleton of the leaves in the garden, they are still intact, but the embossing is deep in the metal. So it's very interesting. Not only the process but the reaction. Yeah. So I like that. It's very exciting when you see when it comes out. It's amazing. Yeah.
It just adds something else to the metal, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
and
so
because I'm still a printmaker, I'm still using the same technique. So I'm still using paper to protect the bed and the roll. And then this paper, I use washi paper, a Japanese very thin but very strong paper. And then it's also embossed. So not only I emboss the metal, but the paper that protects is embossed. And then I go back to printmaking. I use this paper to print on it. So it's never finishing. The conversation is endless. And I like that.
Yeah. And nothing goes to waste.
No, exactly. And it's where I say I'm an interdisciplinary artist, because every medium talks to each other and answers. So it's where it's very exciting. And I really want to do something about that, like an exhibition to show really all together. Yeah. This I would love.
The whole part of the process.
Yeah.
And you have done print, etchings on paper that have been framed and have become artworks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then I've been a finalist many times in the New Zealand Painting and Printmaking Awards with some of my etchings. So I'm very... I feel very honored to have been selected. I have been also finalist in Japan. With one of my etching that was selected, and I have been I'm in museum in Japan, in Dubai. So I'm happy.
That's great. And you were a finalist in the Parkin Drawing Prize.
Yes, with a ring.
Yes, which is so interesting. Tell me about that.
Yeah. This year I have been doing lots of rings because of the carving process that I enjoy very much, and the talkative, the narrative about them. Then it's not only the making. When it's about the drawing, the lines. What is about drawing? What is it? And it is it's the concept that you start with, and when you start, you make lines, you make sketches, and then from a sketch, a 2D sketch, you go to 3D. So it is where my point was in the drawing Parkin Prize was it's the drawing is something that evolves from 2D to 3D, from concept to realization and piece. So yes, I was finalist with a ring, and I guess there they got the concept, and I'm very happy with that. I've been finalist with rings with the New Zealand Small Sculpture Awards. So, and it's true that my little mountain of scoria on the ring was sculptural.
Very sculptural. Yeah.
And I'm happy.
Yeah, I think all your jewellery is very sculptural.
Oh, thank you.
And would you ever make something to be put on the wall, or do you always feel like it needs to be on somebody?
I like the body. I like the body because to compare to a 2D piece, the body has this very personal, very physical and intimate approach. So I like that when people they choose a piece of mine, they choose to put on themselves. And my pieces are never flat; they are never. So the shape, if you put my piece on the wall, it will give shades and shadows that will move. So it's something that, but you put on yourself, it moves the same as well. So it's something that I enjoy very much.
Your work is just so stunning. I'm just absolutely in awe. Actually, I don't think I can settle down from this incredible opportunity to see your work. It's really stunning. So, you must have quite a lot of challenges with the way that you work. I mean, you're always learning and evolving, as we said, and using so many different tools and materials. Yeah. So, what challenges do you think you're faced with in your art practice? With what happens in the world at the moment. So the first time I thought it was indecent to make jewelry, so I could not. It was like, the luxurious, useless, even though it's a total medium and then it has so many meanings. But for me, it was not enough. So I stopped doing this for the first lockdown, the very first one. And then, but I was lucky enough, I've been part of this mentoring program with a handshake project. They were putting artists in their mentoring program, but also they were doing workshop jewelry master classes, and I was very lucky to be selected for one of the jewelry master class. And I met, and Mandy Flood mentioned about that as well. I was thrilled to meet Iris Eichenberg. Then from that, so later on, when we had the first lockdown, it happened that Iris Eichenberg contacted all the jewelers of the world to say, I'm doing this hand project, and it is, let's standardize little hands and put a little ribbon and a pin and offer this to thank all the caregivers of the world. And this was really a revelation again for me. That gave me sense to go back to jewelry. And then so I did my little way, I did 30 hands because I knew they will go anywhere. And just to acknowledge the sacrifice of all those people that have been frontline, and they could put this little pin on their garment and like a little medal to thank them. That's really beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I had once an email of this guy that received one hand and he emailed me back. So it was anonymous. We had a number, but you could go online and look at the number and see who it was. And he was a New Zealander. And he emailed me back to thank me, and it gave me goosebumps, and it was so beautiful. So this is priceless.
It just seems appropriate, doesn't it, at the moment?
Yeah.
What the world's going through, feels right. And then did that help you kind of get back into your own
Definitely.
work?
And then I wanted really, because it was New Zealanders they were offering to anywhere else. So the ribbon, I did actually a rakeke, because I thought, it has to be a little bit of New Zealand somewhere. So I wanted really to make them as beautiful as possible. So, So, of course, I did emboss my metal with the lace. So it goes back to the same practice that I have done for my jewelry. But because I wanted that, it's a piece of jewelry. It's not just a hand medal to thank them. It's just to show how precious we think people are and to show really how much it was. I appreciate, I have no word to thank them for what they have done. So I had to do that.
That was your little contribution.
Oh, absolutely. And then I could go back to jewelry. Yeah, it gave me back the wings to fly again.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And do you have any other challenges with materials and?
It has been second lockdown.
Part 2.
So here we go again, déjà vu. And then this time it was a bit more challenging for me because I had also little personal issues. And then so I could not do jewelry for a bit of time. And then there was this mentoring program, which is the Toy Poto, the community mentoring program. And I look at online and I thought, okay, am I going to do something different and go to visual instead? And then so I thought, let's contact. And I was selected. I was really so happy to be selected. And then eventually you have doubts. You think, oh, what have I done? Should I? And no, it's brilliant. I enjoy very much to learn more. So we've got workshops. And then this gave me the other needs go back to visual art because I could not do jewelry for a while, and then go back to jewelry eventually through visual art and tell things that are really relevant with what we are living. So go back to the essentials and the values, craftsmanship. People, gender, what society is now about. So all this, I wanted to create a project that involves people with those values, same values that are important for me, but people that can be anywhere because we could not see, but we could Zoom and talk to each other in very different ways. So the collaborative work that I've been starting during the second lockdown was, with people from France, UK, and here, of course. And everyone that I've been asking if they wanted to be part of my new project, they say yes. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that's so great. So tell us about this project.
So yes, basically the idea is about craftsmanship. So the redefinition of craftsmanship. And why it has lost the real meaning of it, you know? So, craft, what is craft? It's not like a hobby of, let's be a bit, more respectful about the word and what it was before. So I have friends in France. This lady, she works on wood, so she has been learning wood carving, but wood in Belgium because it's the only school of art in this material that she could do. And then she is able now to renovate antiques. Furniture. So this was really amazing. And then she says, but from Belgium, that people, they actually love their furniture and ask. So it's 100 years old furniture that she is renovating. Coming back in France, she could not do it because people, they don't care. They prefer to throw away than to spend money on something which is so precious. The preciousness is not about the wood. It's about the time. What has
and the
been
life it has had.
Yes, And then this is crazy. And it's where it made me think about more in this way. And then to try to redefine and ask those people to talk in very short sentences about what are those values that I want really to promote. And because it's a collaborative, so they wear my jewelry and I talk about them and it's and it's here and there, it's everywhere, and I love that.
And you're starting to explore using adornment for males and females, or taking away that whole gender identity.
Absolutely, totally.
Which is so great. And poor men, all these years haven't been able to, or haven't been wearing beautiful adornment for some reason.
And then it's where I wanted to show in this way. And I've got a winemaker, a young guy from France, and then he has a big feather. I call the necklace huya, and instead of a tie, why should not he? And he's super elegant. He's in his suit, and then when I show him the picture afterwards, he says, "Oh, I look very serious." I say, "Yeah, it is very serious." And then this young man is 23, and then he's a wine broker, and what he does is actually promote very small domain, but people with a vision, and he wants really to work with those people because it's what he wants really to promote and what he believes in, and it's brilliant. So this young man is doing this, and I have another friend that I met years ago, and then I contacted her and I said, "Jenny, would you like to be in the project?" And then she said, "I love it. I love your jewelry and I definitely want to be there." She's an entrepreneur. So I said, "Oh, I would like that you talk about your values and your vision in your work. And then I will show you what I've done." And then we go from this. And she says, "Yes, absolutely. Oh, by the way, now I'm Jen." And this was wonderful. So yes, I love all those people and synchronicity again. It was meant to be, and it's where I'm going. And I want really to go further and interview more people and put them all together and have this no gender. Collection
Brilliant.
Of jewelry.
So you're connecting the jewelry with these people, and then you're working with Photoshop to create a beautiful photograph.
Yeah. But in the other way, yes, I was lucky to be in contact with Neil Gusset. Is one of the best fashion photographer. Big, love what he is doing. And then I was lucky that once he uses some of my adornment jewelry for Miss New Zealand, and then I contacted him to say, "Oh, if I give you some pieces, I let you play with them." And he jumped on it and say, "Yes, absolutely." And this was brilliant as well. So a collaborative work, because he expected me to change his pictures. So from a picture that he has done, I Photoshop and put the model in a different situation. And it's where again the story goes on. And I love that.
Yeah, and all the different skills that you have, photography and printmaking and jewelry making and carving, and it just seems endless, really. And I feel like there's so much more that you will end up doing also. So with all these different skills and techniques and mediums, is there sort of certain objects or ideas that always have to exist in the work that you produce?
Yes and no. For the moment, because I'm alone to do all those. I'm limited in my time, and I'm limited in how many I can produce. If I could, I will do more and develop further. But for the moment, yes, I'm sticking a bit to the classic in jewelry, like earrings, necklace, and rings. But there is a lot more that I want really to go and experiment.
And I'm sure you will. I feel like this is almost just the beginning.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, which is so exciting. So, Beatrice, I've still got a few questions I'm dying to ask you. So, we are starting to run out of time, surprisingly. Ooh. I think I have to make my podcast 3 hours long because everybody I speak to is so interesting and generous and amazing to talk to. But I'd love to know with you what drives you to do this work.
I need to say things. As I said before, when I arrived in New Zealand, I was not talking as well than now, if I can say I talk well. So the narrative was visual. I need to talk things about New Zealand. I need to talk things about my ancestry. And I need to make, those happen. Yeah. And it's why I'm doing, I'm a maker. I can't not make.
Yeah.
And I can't not stop talking. You've seen where I talk too much.
And you communicate so much through your work, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really interesting that you're speaking a language that's not your own, but you have another language through your work.
Yeah, and it's where I'm a visual artist. It makes sense. The word himself is very vague, but for me it has a total sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do the French how does the French culture and the New Zealand culture combine for you and sort of present in your work, do you think?
At the very beginning, when I arrived in New Zealand, I wanted really to be just a Kiwi. And then eventually, no, I can't. You listen to me, of course, I'm not a Kiwi. Even though I asked the nationality immediately when I could, I had it. But then afterwards you think about it and it's there. It's my references are about poems. My references are about what I learned, and it's what I am. So it has to be part of what I am doing now. And then there is this logic when I talk about synchronicity again, but when I talk about synesthesia, correspondence, and all those, that correspondence is in English and correspondence is in French. Murmur that I can't say in English.
Murmur.
It's French. So all those words are both languages. Why should not I use this also to translate in my work?
Yeah, definitely. And I think your work has a real New Zealand flavour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Can you see a French flavour?
Yeah, listen, another gallery that... you know those compliments that when you have the feedback and then you don't expect because you never have a feedback, but then when it happens, it's so pleasing. So I was commissioned a work by a gallery. This man wanted to offer to his wife a pounamu, and he is Maori, she's not. And she came from Europe, and she did not feel that it was right for her to wear this. And then she saw one of my bows in sterling silver. So the bow is made in sterling, but it's embossed with lace. And then there is this big long pendant, which is a pounamu. And it was exactly what she wanted because it was reflecting her past there and then her present now with her husband, and he was very happy. So I was commissioned this work, and then she was very clear. The ribbon had to look like a ribbon, and you work with metal, you know. So I did as smooth as possible, and then your bow is really like gentle, but... hard metal, not a thin one that will bend so easily. Anyway, I couriered this, and then my gallery calls, got it, client is coming at 5. At 5:30 she called to say, she put it on, she left the shop, and they say, but I've got the box. No, it's where it should be. And this was wonderful.
That is wonderful, and that's the best compliment.
Yeah. So this is where you think, maybe I cut my fingers, maybe my nails are...
It's worth it.
It's definitely... Yeah.
And the bow does sort of has that European flavour, and then
totally.
The pounamu. Yeah, how beautiful. So I'll put a photo of that on the blog post for sure. And I always like to ask the artists I speak to, what advice do you have for people, starting out on their creative journey?
Patience. patience, definitely. Work a lot. Enthusiasm, never give up, but it goes with patience as well, I guess. Tools, good tools. Don't buy cheap. I know it costs, but it's better you have little, but the good ones, because you will keep them forever. Listen to people. Just don't think you know better. That we all do.
Yeah.
But afterwards it's just do and redo. And as I say, like for pattern making, make your weak point the strong one. So don't try to be not what you're not. Be just honest with yourself. And I think that's it.
Yeah, that's good advice. And, your practice, I mean, I just feel like you could achieve whatever you set your mind to achieve, really. But where do you feel your practice will be heading in the future?
I still want to do that. I want definitely jewelry is where I'm going. Definitely, I love the small pieces. I love, even though they are never small. You've seen my pieces are still statement pieces. I want to go further. I want to talk really and promote people. I want to use totally the jewelry as a platform to ideas and other people, and redefine definitely craftsmanship.
Well, that's so exciting. I can't wait to see what you do next. I will definitely be following you, one of your newest, biggest fans.
Thank you.
And it's been such a joy to speak with you and to be in your lovely home and to actually finally meet.
Yes.
And we're actually sitting outside. The first podcast I've ever recorded outside, so there might be a few noises in the background, but that's okay. And, it's a gorgeous day in Devonport, and, it's been a real pleasure to meet you,
thank
Beatrice.
you, Mandy. It was, I was looking so much forward. So, it's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you to be so patient as well, because, it has been months before we could do it, and then to do like that, you in front of me, it's very
nice,
special.
It's nice to come together and make a connection which will last for a long time, I'm sure.
Oui, definitely.
Merci beaucoup.
Oh, merci to you.
Merci.